Hi, my name is Chris Lawson, Kane County Board Chairman. Our subject today is decentralized self-government. The government we want is four things: honest, competent, limited, and inclusive. Honest means open, that the details of how decisions are made and how tax money is spent is transparent for all to examine. Competence requires that the appropriate number of knowledgeable people are involved making decisions. No one of us is smarter than all of us working together cooperatively. Limited means that government should only do what each of us cannot do on our own: build roads, provide for public safety, and coordinate necessary services that constitute the general welfare. In Kane County, we rein in the size of government by freezing property tax levy increases to as close to zero as we can. I know that you can spend your money much better than I can spend your money. So we do everything we can to live within our current means without asking property taxpayers for more. We've succeeded for the past 5 years after 7 years of a 50% cumulative increase, but it is getting harder. Finally, good government includes us all. There's been an important transition in Kane County government in the past 9 months that I think you might be interested in. Like many of you, I was raised by parents who taught me self-reliance and initiative. They expected me to solve problems on my own and to only bring them questions and situations when I really needed their help. Productive actions and results were much more important than good intentions. As I studied management principles and best practices at Duke University and Harvard Business School, these individual self-reliance and initiative lessons were reinforced. When I began doing work for clients and managing people, the self-reliance concept of productivity was confirmed. I learned that the buck truly does stop at my desk. But then I ran for Kane County Board Chairman. A little more than 20 years ago, the people of Kane County voted in a referendum to directly elect the board chairman countywide, most recently with 129,000 votes, rather than leaving that decision to 24 board members in a county with 532,000 constituents. In effect, this created the expectation that the countywide chairman would serve as the chief operating officer. We've gone one better in Kane County when we didn't hire a county administrator, saving taxpayers between $180,000 and $225,000 every year, a total of $1 million since I've worked here. Again, the expectation is that the board chairman would provide the ceremonial duties as well as administrative services. There's only one problem with how this responsibility was assigned, but it's a pretty big one. In statutory township form of county government, like Kane County, authority is not automatically granted just because the chairman is elected broadly. In executive form of county government, authority is granted through referendum, usually at the same time the election is established. Will County made the transition to executive form of government at the same time as they set the election of chairman countywide. DuPage and Kane County did not. For 19 and a half years, through 2 terms of Mike McCoy, 2 terms of Karen McConaughey, and my first 3.5 years, the practice was the same as the expectation. Namely, the chairman is the de facto chief executive officer, especially in Kane County, where we're saving money by not having an administrator. Our state's attorney has pointed out that the state statutes make clear what the duties of the chairman under number 251 are. A, it's reserved, nothing in it. B, the chairman shall preside over all meetings of the county board. And C, the chairman shall have such other duties, powers, and functions as may from time to time be assigned to him by the county board. That's it. Our ordinances say clearly that the state's attorney has the sole authority for appointing all attorneys who are paid by the county. So there are no appeals, no second opinions, that's it. Consistent with the statutes, but inconsistent with our citizens' expectations, in my opinion. I can try to change the state statutes, but 20 years of hard labor in the state Senate taught me easier said than done, and good luck on that one. The way that DuPage County handled the empowerment of sufficient central authority to their countywide elected chairman is to pass a series of rules at the beginning of each 2-year board member term. I suggested to our board that we should discuss this rules option, that I would offer several experts in local, county, and state government to lead the discussion, like the director of Northern Illinois University's Graduate School of Public Administration, or even Jim Nolan, who literally has written books and is a recognized national expert on these subjects. But 2 of our more vocal board members postulated, if there's something you want to change, it must be a power grab, and another, all operating functions should be initiated and managed at the board level. And the Daily Herald newspaper obliged by writing this as the beginning of a potential argument that would sell them more papers but tear at the unity of our board. The wiser, more productive members of the board remained politely quiet. Although the approach of a board of trustees running the day-to-day operations of any organization is foreign to how I was raised as a child and all my management education experience, let's face it, that's what the statutes say when it enumerates the duties of the chairman in the A, B, and C. Rather than argue or give up, maybe there's an opportunity here for not only inclusive, decentralized management of the 5th largest county in the state, but also an opportunity for the deeper engagement of the substantial capabilities and contributions of our most competent and accomplished board members. And all of this within the strict interpretation of state statutes and consistent with the desires of at least the more vocal minority of the board members. So in December 2016, or about 8 months ago, we embarked on an experiment in decentralized management of the county, and so far so good. We have some really talented people who have been elected by their neighbors, and they have accepted the challenge to run their committees after I appointed them. Here are some really good examples. John Martin from Geneva was a former managing partner of a prestigious law firm in Wheaton. He's in charge of the Judiciary and Public Safety Committee. His challenge, along with members of that committee, is to properly manage the area where we spend 65 to 70% of our entire county budget. John Hoscheit from St. Charles is both a lawyer and a CPA. He has served on the board for 20 years and is chairman of our Finance Committee. To hold the line on property taxes while maintaining superior level services is his particular opportunity along with his team. Deb Allen from Elgin has served on the board for many years and is known for her empathetic personality. She brings the sensitivity to people and a deep devotion to public service to chairing our administration committee, where the old and the new are combined. Our county buildings are old, quaint, and difficult to maintain economically, and our information technology department is where many innovations must be absorbed into what we do every day. Bill Leonard from Sugar Grove owned and operated a substantial insurance agency, made payroll every 2 weeks, and served his clients for 35 years before he successfully sold his company a year ago. He's chairman of the Human Services Committee, where his experience with employee benefits has saved taxpayers hundreds of thousands of dollars already while still enhancing employee productivity. Kurt Kozarek from Gilbert's is a young property manager with a growing family who has distinguished himself along with members of his team on the County Development Committee. We have had some important and delicate decisions to make in this area, and Kurt has navigated some pretty dangerous and potentially contentious water. There are many more examples of county board members who have stepped up their contributions to Kane County citizens. So, this experiment of collaborative, decentralized management of the county is off to a good start because the committee system is working as it should, and talented board members are infusing our mutual efforts with their experience. That is all good. Finally, the other day I read an article about Jamie Dimon, CEO of JP Morgan Chase Bank. In a meeting where he reported profits of $7 billion in the second quarter of 2017, that's billion with a B, In 3 months, just 90 days, he was haranguing politics in America. He used some pretty coarse and insulting language. It occurred to me that he must think that he and others can merely delegate democracy like they do so many other things in their lives. Rather than complaining and criticizing, why doesn't he run for office? He might see that American democratic self-government is not as easy as he thinks. So thanks for spending some of your time with me today.